Welcome back. Thank you for staying with us. Let's take you straight to this now, as the Johannesburg Metro Police anti-drug unit, led by Public Safety MMC Mgcini Tshwaku, are conducting a raid in Midrand. This comes after law enforcement arrested an alleged kingpin in Midrand earlier this week, leading to 3 more arrests. Tshwaku says the area has become a drug den, and our Newzroom Afrika reporter Zola Sholwana is there for us now and joins us live. Zola, I imagine it's a hive of activity there. Tell us a bit more about the operation that's currently underway and perhaps what's been uncovered up until this point.
Well, yes, indeed. You would understand that this operation has been happening for quite some time, where the MMC for Public Safety in the city of Johannesburg has been working, very closely with law enforcement officials from the JMPD anti-drug unit, where they are trying to take away drugs from the streets. And we are in Midrand right now, and this is where we are told that this area is slowly becoming a drug den. We have seen 1 arrest, but just to tell us more, let's bring in the MMC for Public Safety, Mgcini Tshwaku. Sir, thank you very much for your time. Just tell us about, Midrand. You did mention that it's slowly becoming, a drug den. You've been making, several arrests related to drugs in this area.
Yes. No. This place there, we've got the undercover unit of ours here. All the spooks are around the area here, and we've been gathering lots of information, the intel. It's always been 2 weeks, about 2 months now. There are 2 major drug dealers that are operating here. The one that we've arrested yesterday with the crystal meth. Now our informant told us that now the other one, he's actually on full swing now. He's taken all these other areas there in Midrand. What is so sad is that our law enforcement officers are involved, which is quite very, very sad and bad. But this information, we've shared it out with the authorities from the province, and also to the chief as well, the new chief Tshwak as well, just to look into this issue. But this area, it is actually becoming the old drug den. But look, tonight we managed to get some guys with some crystal meth, but it's not much really, and some dacha as well. And then we've got another person that has been arrested as well. A person that has been arrested, a Nigerian. He's the one that is actually a main runner here as well. So he actually is taking us now to the main place where they are storing some of these things as well. So unfortunately, we actually came a bit late. So they normally sell around the Midrand taxi rank and the salons around the area. So when we started to nab them around, so probably someone, the intel actually went out. So, but we are not sleeping tonight. So we are ransacking Midrand, and I'm not going to tell where we're going right now. So the message to all those drug lords there is that we're actually coming for actually them. We've got 20 spots in the major spots here in the city of Joburg that we're going to actually raid. So it's actually quite very saddening. And I remember when I told you that the problem is that once you start talking about drugs and you start, uncovering all these drug lords and drug dens, then you start to get this thing of a smear campaign and all of that. For example, when we raided Operation Vaporize at Eldos, the JMPD True and the K9, some of them now were charged by the internal affairs, by the IPIT, that they were beating people and all of that, which is not the case. So every time we are expecting that with these raids that we're doing, there's going to be a smear campaign against the MMC or the TR unit or this K9. So, but I want to tell them we don't give a damn. I'm used to those things there, and my guys are used to that. We're going to find these people, and be careful. You know what? While we were here, calls came in. I won't tell you who they directed to. And we're saying that those people who are calling these drug dealers here, we are seeing their numbers. Yesterday, we saw a lot of numbers of high-profile people. What I'm saying that they must be careful. We've got them. We were submitting them to the province. While we're still standing here, a call came, and you saw it. But really, it's a very sensitive matter. We can't say it here. So whoever is there protecting these people, law enforcement, when we nab these people, we take their phones and we see the numbers that are calling. Others, we do call them, and they come here, and then they just go and leave. So they must be careful. So we want the law enforcement who are going to be on our side. And the ones who are not on our side, we're going to report to the Internal Affairs and the IPID. So all this information, we're going to send it to the IPID for investigation.
You've just mentioned, MMC, that here in Midrand we have a lot of rotten apples, law enforcement officials that seemingly are involved in these, these drug syndicates that we're seeing here. But how are we planning on addressing that? Because we are running after, drug lords and trying to, eliminate them from the streets. But these people that are meant to be the ones that are actually eradicating drugs and all of that, how are we planning to deal with that?
Look, on our side, whoever is involved, we're reporting them to the Internal Affairs. With all these operations, I do share them with the Chief of Police, Tshwak, that is being the new commissioner. And also we also report to the PC, the provincial commissioner, who's been working excellently well with us. Whatever we need, he actually gives us. So all this information, we actually give it to him. So we ensure that the IPID does its own investigation. We've submitted the phones, and then now this guy now that we've just arrested now, there was a law enforcement officer who was calling right when we were actually here, we were waiting for that. So this is going to be an evidence as well. We're going to give it to the officials of SAPS, and then the ones of the JMPD are going to be processed by the Internal Affairs. We don't want any enablers of this crime, none whatsoever, because we are busy chasing the drug criminals everywhere. We don't want to find one of our own, when we're doing operation, they leak the information. So I'm saying that to my law enforcement officers, to our colleagues out there, they must choose a side, whether they want to be with us or they want to be actually them. Because we've got the calls, we've got these numbers, and when we're actually moving right now, we're going somewhere else. Everywhere where we are nabbing these people, we go through their calls. And we find that some of our colleagues are actually being called there. And it's very disheartening. And it's not right. So Midrand is becoming an old track 10. We're going to shut it down, by the way. Right? Whoever, we're going to do these operations, every single time. And not going to be trailing anyone. All right? Yeah.
Thank you very much, MMC of Public Safety in the city of Johannesburg, Mgcini Tshwaku, expressing his disappointment on some of these law enforcement officials that have allegedly called him while we are waiting here. We have seen one arrest, and we saw the drugs, dacha, crystal meth, but we don't know the actual figures, or rather what those drugs actually cost. You heard him there mention that they will continue going to these places because they've been conducting some investigations for over a month and uncovering these areas where drugs are actually a normality. And Midrand is one of those areas, hence you heard him mentioning there that it's actually becoming a drug den. That's all we have for now here in Midrand. We will be back later on with more updates once we move to the next location.
Well, that is Zola Sholwana, of course, keeping us updated there in Midrand as Dr. Mgcini Tshwak, who's the MMC for Community Safety in Johannesburg, saying it's a drug den in Midrand. Undoubtedly, they'll be moving on to other locations. But another harrowing revelation then from that is, of course, that they found that law enforcement might be involved in some of these matters, and also saying that there were high-profile people involved who were getting calls just as that raid was taking place. But Zola Sholwana will give us further details then if anything else should unfold.